Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I need to do a update video because a lot has happened in quite a short space of time and I need to let you guys know what's going on. So there is some unfortunate news, and sadly we did lose Milo a few days ago. He'd been very healthy his whole life, to be honest. Never really had any problems with him. He'd been a very healthy gerbil and he made it to 2 years old. That just came on all of a sudden very quickly. After a fefew days ago I was holding him, he was climbing up me, he was taking treats from me, absolutely fine, and then all of a sudden, I don't know if he had like a stroke or something like that. Again, he'd never really had any health problems his whole life. It was almost as though he was like fitting as well. I'm sorry to go into so much like detail, but I need to let you guys know what's happened. So sadly we did lose Milo. He was such a sweetheart, honestly one of the sweetest gerbils I've ever owned. He was so friendly. He absolutely loved Rue and all the other gerbils he's ever been with. He was such a sweetheart, and it is a shame to not have him anymore. And actually it's kind of sad that Rue is by himself now because they got on so well as a pair. Here is my little baby Rue. Absolutely lovely boy, aren't you? Oh, it's such a shame for him because him and Milo had such a good bond, and I'm honestly gutted that he won't have that anymore. But like I say, as soon as I can get him some other friends, I'll try and get them bonded. But obviously he's doing well. He's not showing any signs of depression or sort of mourning over the loss of him. I think he's doing alright. He's very active, he's keeping himself busy, so he's doing okay. But obviously it's a shame because they got on so well, but he's doing alright by himself, so we won't be keeping him by himself because he's very accepting of other gerbils, unlike Sooty, who is a complete like gerbil hater. He literally hates any other gerbil ever, but we're cool with that. He likes living by himself. He wouldn't want you. He wouldn't. There you go. I did consider bonding little Rue with these guys, and I'd put their cages next to each other. But actually I noticed, I think it was probably Kanga being a little bit more dominant towards Joey ever since I moved Rue next to them. So I decided I'm not going to risk them falling out. They're such a well bonded pair and I can't really do that to them. It's not fair. So yeah, my hands smell of hand cream, please don't bite me. So for that sake, I am not going to be bonding them back together, even though they are brothers. We'll have to find new friends for Rue, but these guys are doing really well, really healthy and happy, and they're getting on well now, so that's really great. They're actually really tame now as well. They've come a long way with the taming. They just walk out onto my hand now and they're really friendly. They're such sweet little guys. Oh, they're so cute. Hey! That's pretty light, sad news, but we do have some other cool news. So, now that's out of the way, I wanted to share with you this news, which is basically I have brought all the guinea pigs inside. Now, the plan was to basically bond all of the guinea pigs, minus the skinny pigs obviously. So I was trying to basically set up the herd again. I was going to bond Bramley with all the girls again. So Bramley and Hazel had been living together since Roxy passed away. I moved Hazel in so Bramley wasn't alone, which was fine for the most part. Hazel did start to get a little bit bossy in the last few weeks. She'd been not very nice to Bramley. They would cuddle up, but then she would, you know, chase him round, and he was a bit frightened actually. He was a bit unhappy. Panda having a drink. So he was getting bossed around a lot by her, and that was kind of, you could tell it was affecting him. It was bothering him quite a lot, but they were doing fine other than that. So basically I decided to bring the girls in just because there are only 3 of them out there, or there were only 3 of them out there in the playhouse. We have had some really cold nights recently, and I just don't feel like having only 3 of them is enough to maintain the body heat that they need. In past years I've had around about 8 to 10 guinea pigs outside in the shed when they were in the shed, and then they had a big hutch and there was about 10 of them, so they could keep warm easily. But now that we are down to 3 females, or we were down to 3 females outside, then they were managing, their weights were okay, but I just thought, seeing as we're going to be moving anyway, it would make sense to bring them all in together, hopefully get them all bonded. This was the plan. Now, you know, in the world of animals, things don't always go that straightforward. So the plan was to basically, yeah, like I said, bond all the girls with Branley. And we did the split cage method, and actually went pretty well. So I decided to try bonding them properly. So there was a big personality clash between Panda and Hazel. These are 2 very high-ranking guinea pigs. They are quite bossy. They are just, they're very, very like bossy guinea pigs. And oh my goodness, there was pretty nasty fighting. They were tackling each other. They were, you know, going in. Hazel was trying to bite them all. It was just chaotic. So I could not even watch that for any longer. I was like, look, I am so worried about one of these getting badly injured. I cannot have this happen. So I just took Hazel out. She's very feisty. She always has been a little feisty one. But we'll just make sure that she's okay. And yeah, bless her. Doesn't she look adorable right now? Obviously it's hard for her to accept because she has just been living with Brown the last few weeks, and like I say, I mean last few, yeah, quite a while now. But obviously it's going to be quite tricky for her to accept any others in the group, just because of the fact that they get set in their ways and stuff. Whereas I guess if Panda's been the group leader of the 3 girls, then it's going to be hard for Panda to accept another female being the boss. And yeah, I guess you could wonder why I didn't take Panda out, and that's because Panda's getting on with all the others, whereas if I left Hazel in and just took Panda out, Hazel would likely continue to fight the others. So that's kind of my reasoning for that. But basically now I've got the 3 females that are outside and Bramley living together, and it is unfortunate that Hazel wouldn't fit into this sort of setting. Hazel in this cage right here. Obviously these cages are too small long term, definitely, but for bonding at least it's the best I can do. Who's this? Niffy. Oh, bless her. So it is a shame that Hazel wouldn't bond, because I was hoping to set up my herd again, obviously, with them all living together, happy little family, but no, it doesn't work like that all the time. So now I'm left with the problem of what to do with Hazel, and I think once we have moved and got settled in again, I'm gonna look for her to have a new companion, possibly thinking about setting up another herd. That is a massive deal. It's not something I would rush into, but the benefits of having 2 herds would be that if there's if there's ever any sort of problems with a group, I could maybe switch one out and try it with the other group. And I just think that would give me so much more opportunities for bonding them, and I could have a much more settled group of guinea pigs, or 2 groups of guinea pigs. So perhaps I could set up another herd with another neutered male, who knows. So that is probably what I would try and do for Hazel. I don't think giving her another female friend is going to help. I don't think she would like that. I also don't really think she would be so good with a male by herself. I think she would be quite good in a herd setting. She could probably do well with a young neutered male, but I'm a bit worried about her bossing him around, so we'll have to think long and hard about that. So that's pretty much all I have to update you guys on. And Hazel is currently living next to the others. She's quite happy, she's doing alright, but obviously I cannot have her in with them because she was just being really, really vicious, really bad. So yeah, they're happy now. These guys love each other. they're so immediately settled in. As soon as we took Hazel out, there was no more fighting. It was amazing. So how long have we got now? About 3 weeks until we're trying to move on like the 10th, 11th of January, something like that. So that is our plan, and the guinea pigs are not going into boarding anymore. The guinea pigs and all the other pets are, apart from Vinny. Thank you. Oh, thanks. You're gonna give it to me? Oh, thank you. Cute. But all our head guinea pigs, if you like, are coming with us straight on the day. We can just take them straight through with us because we will have a cage to set up. Now, the cage they're in now is 2x4. It's far too small for 4 guinea pigs. I just wanted to point that out. Also, the cage Hazel is in is far too small for 1 guinea pig, but I have had to downsize them just to make it easier whilst we move. They're very, very settled as a group, so the cage size doesn't bother them, but once we get settled at our new place, I will be able to set up pretty much anything I want within reason. But I do have plans to set them up something really nice, and obviously get Hazel settled into a group. And yeah, I guess I just haven't been too motivated to film recently because I'm not happy with the setups that the guinea pigs have, and obviously we have a lone gerbil now, and it's just, obviously it's not ideal. This isn't ideal, but this is the reality of having pets. Sometimes these things get thrown at you and there's not much you can do. So honestly, like, I will try and get things sorted once we're there, but I don't want to go down the route of getting them a companion now and then having all the stress of moving that could actually make them fall out. Whereas these guys are totally settled. They've lived together already before, so they're completely fine. They're a very, very happy group, which is brilliant. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to update you guys on. Thank you if you stayed till the end of this. I don't think I will be filming many more videos until we move, so if I'm very inactive on YouTube, that's why I literally have nothing to film anymore. But so excited for when we get there, and I'll have so much more content and just ideas. So hopefully you guys can wait that long. But yeah, honestly, I just have like nothing to show at the minute because it's all just downsizing, and obviously we lost Milo, Rue's on his own. We'll be taking them to boarding a few days before we go, so I could film dropping them off if you'd like to see that. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will update you guys soon. Bye!